Okay guys, how are we doing? Another video. I just wanted to make this video. I was in the gym this morning with a friend of mine who works with a lot of young kids, and a lot of his kids he works with, he's a coach. They're getting their A-level results this week, and we were talking about how a lot of people, they're quite scared about the results, and they worry about them too much and begin to think, it's such a huge deal. And there's no doubt, obviously, they are somewhat important. But actually, I did my A-levels a few years ago. I'm 22 now, so I did them when I was 18. But when I was having the conversation about it, it made me remember that I actually never opened my A-level results. I have no idea what results I got for my A-levels. And I didn't purposely not open the results because I have an ego thing, or because I just wanted to try and make a point. It was actually, I think at the time I was away on holiday. It was summer holidays, and I couldn't access them online for whatever point. And I got back from holiday, and this was obviously, I've left school, and by this point I'm thinking, right, I'm going all in on property. And I knew that in order for me to be successful, what I'd learned at school, the curriculums, the exams, like the English or the whatever subjects I studied, didn't actually teach me a huge amount that was going to get me to where I wanted to be. And by this point I was already doing property courses. I'd learned enough, and I'd made that conscious decision, that's what I was going to do and go all in on. And I got back to the UK, and I thought, actually there's no point me opening these A-level results, because what do they mean? It's just really how well you did an exam, how well you cope in exams. And the point I'm trying to make is that if anyone's watching this and you're getting your results and you're worried about them, and you're worried about you need to get good results in order to be successful, it's a load of bullshit, to be quite brutally honest. I'm not saying it's not important, I'm not saying you shouldn't study for exams. I still studied for my A-levels, I still put in the work, I probably did quite well on them, but they've had zero bearing on determining my success. What determines your success, what's determined where I've got to, is just how much you're actually willing to go all in on your goals, and figuring out what those goals are and getting clarity on them, and obviously figuring out what the vehicle is that's going to get you there. So it may not have to be property, it may be something else like trading, or maybe an online business. Whatever it is, schools don't teach you that much about it. Really, if you want to get good at a skill, and an income producing skill, a high value skill like running an online business or anything like that, now it's so easy to go out and learn online from people and model other successful people. And so really the point I'm trying to make is it's really not a huge deal if you don't perform well at school. I know a lot of people that didn't even do their A-levels, or completely flopped them and got really bad grades, but they're now multi-six and seven-figure earners. But they went all in on their goals, and they did what they needed to do in order to get them to where they wanted to be. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to speak to you guys about. Hope it makes sense. I'm not I'm not trying to come out from an angle of ego and this is about me and look what I did. It's very much, the point I'm trying to make is, like I've said a couple times now, is don't worry about it. It doesn't have a bearing on what you want to be. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a vet or something like that, yes, it's important. If you're an entrepreneur, and if you want to get successful in whatever area of life, it doesn't have to be business, it could be finance, it could be relationships, and you've just got to go out and learn from as many different sources as possible. That's ultimately what I'm most thankful that I did. Looking back, is I just never stopped learning. Even when I left school, I probably learned more, invested more time learning after I left school than before school. So yeah, if you want to get good at something, continue to educate yourself, but educate yourself outside of a school environment, because that's where you learn the most stuff, and that's where you can really learn from people that have done it. For me, if I want to get to 7 figures a year with property, then I can go out and I can learn from people that are making 7 figures a year from property. I can't do that at school. There are no teachers at school that are making 7 figures a year from property or have an 8 or 9 figure property portfolio for me to learn from. They're not out there, because all the people that do that are teaching it, it's a little bit pricey to learn from them, but they're teaching it and they're sharing ideas and they're showing you how to do it and how they would do it if they were to start again, which is super valuable. So that's all for this video, just a quick monologue to the camera. If you like what I had to say, subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.